This podcast is for educational purposes only. Please consult your doctor before changing any medical care. This information, products, or comments contained within this podcast is not approved by the FDA for the treatment or diagnosis of any disease. Although we attempt to keep the information up to date and current, we cannot guarantee the information is up to date at the time of this recording. Individual results will vary. No one should expect the outcomes or results mentioned or described in this podcast. Health shares do not constitute health insurance and do not provide a guarantee to pay for your medical bills. Please consult your broker, general counsel, and/or doctor before changing your healthcare plan. Envita and Envita Health makes no guarantees for outcomes and results. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Dino Prato, founder of Envita Medical Centers and CEO, and I'm here with Dr. John Oertle, one of our chief medical directors, and as always, involved in a lot of the research and development on the team, been working with me and as part of our team for a lot of years now. So today's question we have is, does Envita have any other locations? And also why we're located in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so I'll try to answer it quickly, but there's actually a longer piece to that answer. Number one, Envita Medical Centers is located in Scottsdale, Arizona as a center of excellence. What does that mean? We have all the pieces to deliver precision oncology at a very high level and precision care on the whole platform, right, for all the patients we work with. So what does that mean? We have 200 people on our team. We have board-certified oncology, board-certified interventional radiology, board-certified infectious disease. That's very important for tick, Lyme. You're not going to find integrative centers with that specialty. Board-certified pediatrics, board-certified internal medicine. We have pharmacists, chemists, researchers, naturopathic doctors. We have medical doctors of homeopathy. And that team, no matter where their training comes from, requires 1,500 hours of training. John, you know this really well because you've been part of that team of training.
Right.
And 1 year before they're trained in molecular targeting to even work with our patients. And so we have, in Arizona, we have about 100,000 square feet worth of campus between our surgical, our infusion area, our the whole pharmacy, the whole part of it. And it's in Scottsdale. And patients travel to us from literally all over the world. I would say that about 85% to 90% of all patients travel here from Canada, other parts of the US. People that are putting their healthcare, they're getting in charge of their healthcare. They're becoming their leaders, or if you want to be in charge of their healthcare, where they're researching and wanting more precision to their care. They're the CEO of their healthcare. They're making those decisions for themselves. So Scottsdale is very strategic, and why we can't just put these in all these other states is because Arizona, for a lot of you who don't know, has the best integrative medicine laws across really all of the states. It's one of the top, meaning the doctors in the integrative setting have the highest scopes in the state to practice medicine. And we have a wonderful weather year round, so we don't usually have weather problems, even though it does get warm in the summer. It is usually we have no weather problems from the perspective of people traveling and receiving care. And I may say so, I've been living here for a long time. Scottsdale is a beautiful place. It's a clean, good environment for our patients. Now, I want to take a little bit as we go on. By the grace of God, over the last 23 plus years, you as a patient, if you've never been to Envita, you can experience the presence, I believe, of the Lord, that peace when you walk into the facility. It's been through years of prayer and support with our patients when they travel. We've even seen beautiful miracles when people have received prayer as well at the center. So there's a different environment and a community. The whole staff in an interviewing process, this is what HR just shared with me not too long ago, it's 16,000 resumes to one hire. That means they're reviewing 16,000 potential candidates for one hire, looking for the right skill set and the right heart, and I include that, of serving a patient, because you need what we like to call that radical loving care, where you're caring for the patient. And so when a patient comes here, it doesn't feel like a hospital. It's not sterile the way a hospital is, yet it's warm and feels more like a place where people are nurtured for healing. And that plays a very important role because many of our patients, John, have come to Envita after they failed the hospital systems. and they've
Right.
gone through that whole feeling like a number and feeling very, not the same kind of love and attention that they do here on our campus.
Yeah, Dr. Prato, we just brought in a new patient or a new doctor, and the doctor's experience after going through with our whole team said, "Wow, people are actually really kind here." And one of the nurses replied, I thought the same thing when I first was hired. She's been with us for 3 years. And she goes, I was always waiting for the day when people would stop being kind. She goes, I still haven't found it yet. It's that kind of radical loving care of our doctors, our nurses, our administration. Everybody on our team is really in it to be able to actually care for that patient. And they're high level in school and a high level human person. And that combination is uh, uh, the Envita doctor, the Envita nurse, the Envita pharmacist. It's the Envita, staff. Everybody is involved in this high level of excellence in their execution and a high level of care for patients.
Yeah, I would say that from all the years I've been here, lots of prayer, right? Always praying that the Lord sends us the right people with the right hearts to join our team, gives us the innovations and the technology. That's a big part of our prayer because we 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 are so blessed to have this technology available for our patients and the team to deliver it with love. That is important because when you're going through something like a chronic illness or a chronic terminal illness like cancer, that makes a huge difference in my years of experience because before the patient even comes into the building, they experience that community that's there to love and support them. That's what the Envita Medical Centers like. And I encourage, whether you're a physician watching or you're a patient or you're part of the health, getting health at Envita, or maybe part of the Envita Health Network, um, come and tour the campuses, visit the team. We have a very open door policy as long as we can have you come, even as a patient tour, because there's nothing like seeing it, right? Oftentimes when Envita is often mislabeled as alternative medicine. I want to get into this a little bit. Envita is not alternative medicine. Envita is precision medicine. It is precision in both the conventional, the top 5 to 10%, and precision in the natural or integrative 5-10%, and everything's custom built on the patient. You'll not find nowhere like it anywhere. I know because I'm very familiar with top cancer facilities, integrative facilities around the country, and actually in other countries. What you'll find here at Envita is that essence where it's really done at the highest level, John. It's not just you're doing this care or that care or somehow people's idea of integrative care, because we're really not alternative medicine. This is precision medicine that is usually, in my clinical experience, 7 to 10 years ahead of what you'll find elsewhere. And it's done targeted for each individual. And patients deserve that. They deserve access to that quality of care. And so it's very different than sometimes your perception is that, that Envita is going to be a clinic where it is, just, some herbal medicine facility. And by the way, herbal medicines can be very powerful. That's not what I'm saying. But Envita's model takes all of these things to another level. And I'm saying that to you as we are both trained as integrative practitioners, as a naturopathic doctor myself in my early years and working with patients. I believe the Lord blessed me through that training because I look at things differently. So when we look at disease, we're not just looking at the symptoms, we're looking at what caused it and all the molecular targeting, and then marrying that to the most advanced genetics, laboratory testing, planning, bioinformatics, that then is at the spring of what Envita is. And so I thank the Lord for that
Medications,
because
surgery,
yeah.
it's radiation, right? It's the best of all of the conventional, specifically to be able to actually give a pinpoint precision plan for the patient that's based upon a lot of data, a lot of research, and our tried and true algorithms that have been perfected over the last 23 years and continue to be able to be perfected with each and every day, with each and every patient, and that this is precise to the patient. And it's this on the conventional end, but it's also that on the herbal integrative end, which is the reason why each doctor, regardless of if you're a tenured physician being able to treat medical oncology for years, or if you are the most advanced naturopathic physician, that every single practitioner at Envita needs that 1,500 of hours because of the actual ability to be able to give precision recommendations with the advanced laboratory testing with the advancements of how do you actually pin those testing to the actual patient with treatment. So that's, I mean, it is. It's a daunting task, but it's
Yeah,
unlike any other, and unlike
and
any other.
you'll see that, just to help people understand this, that when we talk about integrative medicine, we talk about what's called adjuvant phytotherapeutic. So even in that area, genetic testing, combinations, bioinformatics, immunotherapies, all custom built for each patient. And in addition to that, Envita has compliance officers. Now, what does that mean? In different divisions of our operation, we have attorneys that we work with, FDA attorneys that guide us. We have pharmacy board attorneys that guide us. We have, corporate. The reason for that is when you're in this space, I heard this the other day, and I believe it to be true. From the moment you graduate from medical school today, they're estimating that within just over a year and a half, almost all the information you've learned is outdated based on the amount of scientific information that is coming out every day. It's overwhelming. In fact, that's almost what I completely dedicate my work to, is matching the best targeted information and how that can be clinically relevant to our patients with targeting. The reason that's important is because if you don't have the infrastructure that we've developed here at Envita, which is docile by the grace of God to receiving the information through the pharmacy, through the treatment planning, through the interventional radiology, oncology, and delivering everything with precision, you just can't do it. It's not something that you can just easily do in a general practice setting or in one specialty of care or in a hospital setting, because the precision oncology requires being flexible, John. You need supply chains. There's been oncology drug shortages here in the last, with the COVID and so forth, and we've been able to take care of our patients great because we have our own pharmacies. All of these nuances that people don't think of when they're not in this field. They just think we go to the doctor, they prescribe the care, but there's a lot of infrastructure. And I just say, by the grace of God, when people come here, they feel this warmth, the community, the compassion, and the love that people have. And that's the continuing message. If you've been on our Envita website, which I haven't looked at in a long time, you go to our About Us section, and there's this video of me sharing how much we love patients and are dedicated to helping them. This may be this piece we're doing here might be a decade later, and we're still as passionate today than we are when the About Us section came out, because this is the mission of our work. So anyways, I just want to share, we're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and this team of really skilled, blessed physicians we have on our team, and nursing staff and community is here to bring healing. And so we're here to help you in any way that we can. So I hope we answered that question a little longer than normal. But John, you have anything else you want to add before I wrap up this particular question?
I'm always surprised and always grateful to hear every person I feel like on our team was led here to be able to work. We hear this often on our new hires in the training, that it's a mission. They feel called and led to be able to work for us and work with us. The other interesting thing is that we get the same thoughts and the same ideas from our patients. When you meet with a patient and they feel led and called that they're supposed to be here, and they're very grateful when they walk into that door and they actually get to be able to step in, and that there's something deeper going on even in that journey for a patient. So it's beautiful to see when that happens, because this is where you're led by something deeper to be able to again make this a reality. So it's a great joy to be able to recognize that and be able to work with the people we do and to serve the patients that we do.
Yeah, amen to that. We're here by the grace of God to help people live with dignity. I say that because, years ago I heard an interview in top cancer hospital where the doctor says we're here to help people die with dignity. No, we're a people of life. We're fighting by the grace of God to help our patients live and extend their life and live live in dignity. And that's an important thing. And I think you feel that when you come in. That's that life, that support, that encouragement. Well, thank you for joining us. May God bless you on your journey to healing. Hopefully this was helpful. And thank you, John, for joining me.